So in our previous unit, we have discussed about different side distance characteristics, different geometric features. Now, basically, in this unit, we will discuss about the design of the intersection. Okay, design of the intersection. So basically, before starting the design of the intersection, we need to know some of the parameters which are very important for the intersection design. So basically in this unit, after we complete this initial portion like traffic volume, what is capacity, etc., we will discuss about the design of the intersection, design of the specifically rotary intersection and design of the signalized intersection. Okay, how you will design the signal system in a intersection thing we will discuss. Now, before starting this, there are different parameters are there which you need to consider when you design a traffic intersection. So basically, if you go for the traffic intersection, what is traffic intersection? Where two or more roads meet at a particular point. That is a traffic intersection. Now, in the traffic intersection, that intersections are basically a hazardous thing. Okay, where all the vehicles are moving in the haphazard way, so you have to control the intersection. Now that controlling the intersection depends on different parameters. So different parameters means what is the total number of vehicles over there. Okay, or what is the total capacity of that intersection. Capacity indicate that how much number of vehicles that particular intersection can accommodate. Okay, so that capacity estimation is basically based on the width and other characteristics of the adjoining roads. Okay, now if that capacity of a particular road, suppose you have found that is 5,000 vehicles per hour. Now you have found that traffic volume for that particular area, average traffic volume is 7,000 per hour. So in that case, you can say that our intersection is not acting effectively. So we need to redesign the intersection. Okay, so basically redesigning that intersection based on the different parameters like average speed of the vehicles, what is the traffic volume over there, and what is the average speed of the vehicles over there. So for this reason, you need to know different traffic studies, and after that we will discuss about rotary intersection design and signalized intersection design, and where you can provide the rotary intersection, what are the variants of rotary intersection. Variants means at which cases which you can provide the rotary intersection. We just cannot simply put a rotary intersection in a small road. Okay, because in that case that will cost more, and by building the rotary intersection you need a huge place. Now for the rural road, that place the finding out that place is not like as difficult as in the urban area, because in the urban area that land value is huge. Therefore you need to consider different parameters while you designing a rotary intersections or other type of intersections. So for this reason, there are different parameters like for traffic studies. So in the traffic studies, first in design of the intersection case, your first and foremost thing is traffic studies. Now in the traffic studies, what are the things you have to study? That are the traffic flow, your spot speed, your speed and delay analysis, origin and destination study, parking study, and rate of the accident. So these are the different important factors for the traffic studies which you need to consider prior to the design of an intersection. Okay, now what is traffic flow or volume? Suppose an road is there. Suppose a road is there, and you draw one cross section or draw one line over that road. Now, traffic volume is the number of vehicles which crosses that particular point or particular intersection of the road in a unit time. So basically, that is traffic volume. Now, traffic volume or flow is very difficult to estimate in our Indian scenarios, because in Indian scenarios there are different type of vehicles which are moving in the road, which have different characteristics, as well as the driver characteristics are also different from one another. So therefore, studying traffic flow is very difficult. because a driver behavior something that cannot be predicted. You cannot predict anything in calculation of the traffic flow or volume. Just a minute. Yes, sorry for the interruption. So basically, for this reason, whenever you are finding out the traffic volume for Indian condition, that would be very difficult. In foreign condition, what happens? There are very less number or less types of the vehicles. In that case, you can just tell that your traffic volume is 1,000 vehicles per hour or 5,000 vehicles per hour. But in Indian condition, there are different speed characteristics and different types of vehicles. For that reason, their impact on the roads are also different. For that reason, that estimating traffic volume and also predicting the traffic volume is very much difficult. Now, this traffic flow characteristic shows the dynamic change at different time intervals through the day. So basically, if you go for the traffic volume study, in that case, first you have to find out what are the traffic volume at different time intervals. So suppose for 9 to 10, what is the total traffic volume? From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., what is the traffic volume? And ultimately, you have to find out one graph corresponding to different traffic volumes. Okay, corresponding to different traffic volumes, and that will give you an idea about the dynamic. Dynamic means that particular factor which changes with time. So basically here traffic volume such also changes with time. So how you are visualizing this traffic characteristic, basically that will be included in the traffic flow theory. Now in the traffic flow theory, there are two types of movement of the vehicle. So two types of traffic flow. One is interrupted traffic flow and another one is uninterrupted traffic flow. Uninterrupted traffic flow means suppose in the morning or suppose at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. In that case, that road will be empty. In that case, all the vehicles can move over there freely without considering other factors. Okay, the vehicles can maneuver easily because there are less number of vehicles present over there. So this type of flow is called uninterrupted traffic flow. And in the interruption case, whenever the number of vehicles are more, in that case, that vehicles cannot maneuver properly. So that type of flow is called interrupted traffic flow. Now, uninterrupted traffic flow can be defined as all the flow regulated by vehicle to vehicle interaction and interaction between the vehicle and the roadway, such as the traffic in the highway or expressway. Or in the expressway, what happens? There are no extra vehicles are allowed in the expressway. Okay, there is no stopping, nothing is there. So there only interactions is between vehicle to vehicle interaction and vehicle to road interaction. Road interaction means if there is any horizontal car, if there is any super elevation, if the road is damaged or not. So basically that would only be the factor. So that type of flow is uninterrupted flow. And in the interrupted flow, I'll discuss this. First, let us discuss about some of the basic characteristics of the uninterrupted flow. There is no control access. Control access means suppose one expressway is there. So in that expressway, no vehicles can enter like that. Okay, no vehicles can enter in the midway. There would be some particular entry and exit point, and vehicles can only enter through that entry point and then exit through that exit point, and that vehicles cannot stop in between these entry and exit points. Okay, so therefore that is called there is no controlled access, and there will be no traffic intersection, there will be no signalless intersection, so that traffic will be interrupted. It can be seen in the freeways. There are no traffic signals, and stream characteristic depends on geometric designs, vehicles, and others. So all the stream characteristic means whether traffic speed and other characteristics will depend on the road characteristic, like in your geometric features of the road and condition of the road, etc. That will not depend on the presence of the vehicles. How much vehicles are present over there, that will not affect it, that uninterrupted traffic flow. Now, in the interrupted flow, they are highly regularized by different means of traffic regulation technique. Okay, like traffic signals, like stopping, there will be different stopping and starting point. There platoons may be formed. Platoons means suppose one road section is there, okay, and that is a very narrow road section, and one slow moving vehicle is over there, and it is not giving access to other vehicles to over cross this vehicle or to overtake that vehicle. In that case, there would be line of vehicles behind its vehicle. So basically that phenomenon is called platoon. Okay, vehicle platoons. So that platoons may observe in case of interrupted traffic flow. Now, what are the objectives of traffic volume study? So, it is generally accepted as a true measure of the relative importance of roads and in deciding the priority for improvement and expansion. So, it is basically true measure of the relative importance of the road means if the traffic volume for a particular road is higher, it indicates that the importance of the road. Okay, more the traffic volume, the more importance about that road. And in that way, you can decide whether you would like to improve that condition of the road or not. Okay, so basically, that is the primary factor which is decide whether a road should be improved or not, or characteristic of the road should be improved or not, and how important that road is. It is used in planning, traffic operation, and control of existing facilities, and also for planning new facilities. So suppose facilities means, suppose one signalization intersection is there. So by means of that traffic volume study, you will understand whether the signalized intersection is performed properly, or you have to go for the other type of intersection like overpass or underpass. It used in the analysis of traffic patterns and trends. So basically, traffic volume shows the traffic volume data in different time intervals. So you can observe that when the traffic volumes are maximum. So you can see if you go for the traffic data collection, you can see at some particular time the traffic volume is very high. Generally, that that time period is called peak hour. Okay, so in the dynamic characteristics of the traffic volume study, you will observe two peak hours. One is morning peak hours, like in the office time, like from 9 to 10 or 10 to 11, that time period. And another one is evening peak hour. In that case, all the office goers are coming to the home, and therefore it increases the traffic volume for a particular stretch of the road. Useful in structural design of the pavement. So basically, by the traffic volume, you will know what is the number of vehicles which are moving over there, and by this way, you can calculate what would be the total load which would be applied over the road section for a particular period of time. And pedestrian traffic volume is used to planning different facilities for the pedestrian, like sidewalk, crosswalk, subway, and pedestrian signals. Now, traffic volume count. How you count the traffic volume? So basically, in the traffic volume study, you have to count the number of vehicles which crosses a particular cross section of the road. Now, there are different counting techniques like manual counting method. In the manual counting method, you have a spreadsheet, and in the sheet, you will write down what is the number of vehicles along with the different classes. Okay, suppose in a road section, there are different vehicle classes. Suppose like your car, bus, and truck, etc. And here you write the number of vehicles in each and every hour. Suppose from 9 to 10 a.m. What is the total number of cars you have observed? What is the total number of cars you have observed? And what is the total number of trucks and other vehicles you have observed? So generally, this numbering is done by this statistical method, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the four vehicles you have observed. Now, whenever you are observing fifth vehicle, you will go like that. So that means 5. Then again, you will start 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like that, you have to count the number of vehicles. Generally, the traffic, when you have to be collect the traffic volume study. So basically, that the time period will also depend on the main objective of your study. So if you want to observe what is the average number of vehicles or what is the average traffic volume in a particular day or in a general day, in that case, your traffic volume should be conducted on weekdays, generally from Tuesday to Friday, from Tuesday to Friday during all that time period. Okay, during that time period when the vehicles are moving. So generally, traffic volume studies are counted for each and every hour. And now another thing is you cannot count the total number of vehicles in every hour for a 60-minute time, and that basically that for a total time period of 12 hours. It cannot be possible in manual method. Therefore, to represent the data, you will collect some representative data or some samples. And basically, that sampling collection is basically, in that case, you will collect only 15 minutes data, 5 to 15 minutes data in each and every hour. Okay, 5 to 15 minutes data in each and every hour. After that, we will convert that into vehicles per hour data. So suppose for 15 minutes, you have collected the traffic volume data and you are getting that your traffic volume data as 100 vehicles per 15 minutes. Okay, after that you have to convert this into hours. So basically that would be 400 vehicles per hour. So this is all about the visual method. Now there are different advantages of the manual method. These advantages are detailed, such as vehicle classification and number of occupants can be obtained. You can by observing the vehicles, you can find out what is the class of that vehicle, whether that is bus, truck, or other type of vehicles, and what is the total number of occupants. You can have a rough idea about the total number of occupants in the vehicles. Then again, you can find out the turning movement data of the vehicles at the intersection. So in the intersection, that vehicles can move in 3 or 4 directions. So you can have the turning movement data in the intersection. Analyzing traffic characteristic in unusual conditions such as adverse weather condition, traffic breakdowns, temporary closure of any lane of the highway, etc. It could be done. Then comparatively cheaper method of counting, because in that case you do not need anything, you need some persons and some papers where you put the numbers. And data accumulated by manual method are easy to analyze because all these data are sorted. You just need to analyze the data because all these things are sorted in the manual count method. Now the disadvantage is not practicable to have manual count for 24 hours of the day and throughout the year. You cannot collect that much of data by manual counting method. Okay. And counts of remote areas are possible by automatic devices. Suppose some areas are there where there are huge number of traffic or huge number of vehicles. In such cases, that manual count method is not advantageous or is not preferable. So a next portion is automatic counter. Now there are different type of automatic counter. So first type is pneumatic tube type automatic counters. In that case, what will happen? One particular stress of the road will be there. Here, one tube would be placed over there. Now, whenever a vehicle crosses the tube, in that case, by that pressure, that one automatic counter will be there. That automatic counter will count the number of vehicles. So an automatic survey involves placing a tube or loop across a road which is connected to a box containing the means for storing the information where automatic counting will be done. So in this method, vehicles are uh, counted automatically without any human involvement. So therefore, you can take large number of data. So automatic counts are usually taken in 1 hour intervals for each 24-hour period. Okay, so you can have a total 24 hour of your data throughout the 365 days of a year. So there are different type of automatic counters. One is portable counters. So in that portable counters, you just place the portable counters in any particular section of the road, and that will count the number of vehicles. And permanent counters in certain section of the road, there will be some permanent counters which will count the number of vehicles throughout the year. Now another method is there that is called videotape or video photography survey. So or videography survey. So basically that is a partly automatic, partly manual count. So basically in this method, you will place one video camera in the along the road section, and you will record all the vehicle style or all the vehicles which are crossing a particular section of the road. After that, you will manually extract the data from that list. So basically, that is your pneumatic tube and that is your automatic counter. Now, another method is there to count the traffic volume, that is moving observer method. So, in the moving observer method, what will happen? Suppose you are the observer. So, in such cases, you will hire one vehicle and first you will go along with the traffic flow and count the number of vehicles which you have already overtaken. Okay, after that, you will come in the opposite direction and then again you will count the number of vehicles which you have crossed. So in that case, you can have a rough idea about the total number of vehicles in a particular section of the road. So that is called moving observer method. Why moving observer method? Because in such cases, observer or surveyor is moving along with the traffic flow. Now, how you will represent the traffic volume data? You have collected the traffic volume data. Now, how you will represent? So, first thing is annual average daily traffic. So, annual average daily traffic means you will collect the traffic volume data for 24 hours of the time for throughout the year. Like that is for 365 days. After that, you have all the 365 days data. Now your annual average daily traffic would be whatever total number of traffic volume you are getting divided by 365 days. That is your annual average daily traffic. Then another parameter is there, that is annual daily traffic. So in annual daily traffic, you will collect the data for 24 hours time and the total time period would be lesser than 365 days. Okay, and after that, whatever total traffic volume you are getting, you will divide this by the number of days which is lesser than a year. That is called annual daily traffic. Then another thing is called trend chart. This trend chart show volume trends over a period of years. Volume trends over a period of years, and it is useful to estimate the growth and plan of future expansion. Then variation chart is there, which shows the variation in the traffic flow in different hours, like in peak hours and in off-peak hours, like that. Then traffic flow map. Traffic flow map means in case of if you open the Google Maps, you can observe that some of the roads are marked with red mark and some of the roads are marked with green mark. So basically that indicates the traffic flow maps. So where there are maximum number of vehicles or traffic volume or there is a chances of congestion, in the case that type of roads are marked as red in the Google Maps. So basically that is the traffic flow maps where the traffic volume is maximum and where the traffic volumes are minimum. Then traffic flow or volume at the intersection. So in the intersection, there are different crossing roads which will meet with each other. So in the intersection, whenever you are collecting the traffic flow data, in that case, you have to draw the flow diagram. So the number of vehicles entering from each approach leg of the intersection at fixed time interval is counted. So that means suppose that is your intersection. So in that intersection, number of vehicles which are approaching in each leg, you have to count that number of vehicles. Detail of queue length, waiting time, turning movement, and vehicle occupancy, number of pedestrians are also calculated by manual method. Queue length means what is the total length of the vehicles which are one after another if there is a signalized intersection. What is the total queue length? Okay, what is the total delay? Delay means how much time it is required to overtake or to cross that intersection, the delay, and total number of passengers in a particular vehicle, and what is the number of pedestrians over the intersection, that all data could be collected by manual count method. Then again, the data of the turning movement. Because turning movement means some of the vehicles are moving in this direction, some of the vehicles are moving in the straight direction, and some of the vehicles are moving in that direction. So you have to calculate all these data. So by this way, you can calculate the traffic flow diagram at intersection. Now another thing is design of hourly traffic volume. So basically that is design hourly traffic volume. Design hourly traffic volume means you have collected the ADT data, that is traffic volume data for 365 days. Now after that, in some cases for each and every hour. Now after that, you will arrange this traffic volume data or hourly traffic volume data in a descending order. Descending order means the highest hourly traffic volume would be placed at number one, and the lowest traffic volume data would be placed at that in the last. Okay, so you will have a order data, that is descending order data. So from the descending order data, you will get the what is the 30th highest hourly volume data. 30th highest hourly volume data means that first, which is the maximum, that is the first hourly maximum hourly volume data. The second one is second maximum hourly volume data. Third one is third maximum hourly volume data. So likewise, you have to find out what is the 30th highest hourly volume data. So basically, that is your design hourly volume data. Okay, so basically these are the different hours in a day, and these are the hourly traffic volume of ADT. After that, you will find out what is the 30 highest hourly volume. So basically, why 30 is taken, because at the 30 point, basically, see the curves are changing to a consistent way or changing to a straight way. So basically, for this reason, the 30 highest hourly volume data is considered. Now, analysis of the traffic volume data. So, short count and adjustment. So, as we have discussed, for the short count in each and every hour, you will collect the data for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, and after that, you will convert this into the vehicle per hour data. Then expanding and adjusting traffic volume counts. The short-term traffic volume counts made at several locations have to be adjusted to a common base. So ADT is preferred measure of traffic volume, but ADT is used when it is not available. So adjustment of count in urban area. To estimate traffic volume in urban area for planning purpose, counts are made at several locations simultaneously. So at different locations, you have to make the count simultaneously so that different control point can be established. Traffic volume count is made continuously for 12 hours. So as we have already discussed, these points we have already discussed. Now, adjustment, how you will adjust the traffic volume data. So, first one is daily factor. So, 7 days average for 24-hour per 24-hour count on a particular day. So, that is your daily factor. What is the 7 days average data? Then, seasonal factor would be there, and your 24-hour traffic volume at any station on a specific day in any of the year is adjusted to ADT as follows. So if you want to adjust the traffic volume data that which you have collected, in that case, that is the formula. Your ADT would be traffic volume count into your daily factor into your seasonal factor. Then another factor is there that is called peak hour factor. So it is expressed in terms of traffic volume during peak hour as a percentage of ADT. it used to design the urban transport infrastructure project. So basically that is the peak hour factor. So it indicates when the peak hour would be there and how much traffic would be there. Now another important factor is passenger car unit. So basically, as we have discussed in the Indian condition, there are different type of vehicles which are moving over the road. Now these different type of vehicles have different characteristics. So therefore, you cannot add up a number of cars with the number of bus, or you cannot tell that your total number of vehicles is like that. Suppose in a particular section of a road, you have 5 numbers of cars and 10 numbers of buses, so you cannot tell that your total number of vehicles over there is 15. Okay, because these two entities are totally different. So therefore, you need one particular factor by which, by multiplying by which, you will convert all the different vehicle class unit in a single vehicle car unit. So basically, with that particular factor is called passenger car unit. So in that passenger car unit, generally that car, personal car or that small cars are considered as your unit. Okay, and all the vehicles classes are converted into the passenger car. So for this reason, it is called passenger car unit. So there are different factors which affect the passenger car unit, like your vehicle characteristics, speed distribution, roadway characteristics, regulation and control traffic, environmental and climate conditions. So these are the different factors which affect the passenger car unit. Okay, this is all about today's class. You can leave.